is a compatriot is not a song for the slaves or the weak, but a solidarity call for a nation that can stand and operate in a democratic, self-government, and take sovereignty of our borders with the ability to manage and control an increasing population of 206 million inhabitants, occupying a land area of 923,768 kilometers square, revealing our features as an independent nation. The judges, ladies and gentlemen, I am Makinde Rihanna, representing the Faculty of Science, to firmly support the notion Nigeria is independent. To begin with, independence is defined as a condition of a country, nation, or state in which resident and population exercise self-government and usually sovereignty over its territory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be basing my argument on 3 major points. 1, electoral system in Nigeria. 2, independence of the judiciary system in Nigeria. 3, the close relationship between the House of Representatives and the Senate. Electoral system in Nigeria. First of all, Nigeria has become an independent nation since the year 1960, and without much saying, she has proven this to be factual in how she has handled the electoral processes independently, although she has recorded challenges such as electoral malpractices, electoral insecurities and violence, vote buying, malpractices, harassment and intimidation of electoral officials and voters, and smart card readers malfunction, as shown in the 2019 presidential and gubernatorial election, which of course can be regarded as a natural phenomenon of life. In the midst of all this, Nigeria, as a developing and growing country, has been able to record success with installed electoral committees capable of taking responsibilities for the process. These challenges, however, can be controlled through proper management of electoral processes and sensitization of all the people that will be actively involved in the future elections in Nigeria. These challenges can be overcome in due time, and money doesn't make a dependence on any country for help.
I'd like all of us to take a look to my left. Just assume there's an old woman seated there doing her own thing. And there's another old man walking through this room. And every time he's hungry, he shuffles his gates and goes to this woman to suck from her breasts in order to satisfy him. Absurd, right? The chairman, the panel of judges, distinguished guests, my co-debaters, the timekeeper, and the audience. I, Precious Oluwapelumida Saulu, representing the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, is here to ensure that after today, whatever convictions you have about Nigeria being an independent nation is completely washed and cleared. In 1914, Sir Lugard Almaga to form Nigeria. Around the time, the British, the French, and the Portuguese saw Africa as a piece of cake out of which they could take out large chunks, Nigeria being one of those chunks. 46 years after that, Nigeria gained colonial independence. Yet, 61 years after, the very fact that we're standing here to argue against or for that reality questions the validity of that reality. Independence, according to the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, means freedom from control or external forces. A nation cannot claim to be independent if it has not to a large extent immersed itself in its own decision makings and its policies without external influence from foreign policies and foreign countries. Education is the bedrock of any kind of development. And it is obvious that Nigeria does not prioritize education, evidenced by the dilapidated structures, the inappropriate remuneration of the teachers and lecturers, and the incessant strike actions in our universities. It will interest you to know that in 2020, between 2020 and 2021, according to the big British Broadcasting Corporation, over 100,000 Nigerians left the shores of this country for educational pursuits. If you as a Nigerian would like to have the highest quality of education, you would, like every other resource to come out of this country, have to be exported, refined, and if you do decide to come back, would only be accessible to the cream de la cream of the society, the 1% of the 1%.
The true test of loyalty isn't when things get going, but when going gets tough. The saying by M.K. Abiola states, and I quote, "Being short doesn't prevent a person from seeing the sky," which implies that being a developing country with its obvious challenges doesn't take away our sovereignty in any way. The judges, ladies and gentlemen, standing before you is Oluwafemi Gbemileke, representing the Faculty of Science and firmly supporting my chief speaker on the notion that Nigeria is independent. Firstly, I would like to clear the ignorance of my humble co-debater that has raised the point of our health sector. Vividly looking back at the year 2019-2020, we saw the health challenges that was faced by all the countries of the world, including the great United States of America and Germany and Russia. Talk of all of these countries, they were plagued by coronavirus. Do you want to tell me that due to all of these health challenges, they are less of a sovereign state? Of course not. They are still a sovereign state because we are meant to drive and strive through all of these challenges. These challenges are just for a moment. When the right implementation and regulations are being done, effective change will be realized.
A system that has repeatedly revealed the flaws in our system. It has achieved so little and created a vacuum that has left our position in relation to other economies a daunting cry for help. All protocols duly observed. I, Lamino Ifeoluwa, a representative from the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, is here to constructively argue that Nigeria is heavily dependent. Buttressing the definition for my first speaker, an independent country is one that is heavily reliant on foreign policies. Since inception in 1960, when we were granted political independence, Nigeria has been depending over and over time. According to Punch newspaper in March 31st, 2021, the country is currently owing about $87.2 billion. $87.2 billion. And Nigeria is a country that has been head over heels in debt. Fine, it is acceptable to admit that we need to borrow sometimes. Even countries like the United States of America, Germany, France, they borrow. But what is painful and regrettable about this is we intentionally borrow when we can look inwards and actually amass the wealth, the resources we have, and actually use it to reduce the rate at which we borrow. It's pathetic.
Just like yesterday, on the 28th day of July 2021, there was an uproar on social media. The bird could not fly because of the tons of message on its app. Good day, panel of judges, distinguished guests, dear students, my fellow colleagues, everyone seated. Cybercrime, the death of our future. According to Britannica, cybercrime is the use of computer as a means to further illegal ends, such as money laundering, stealing of identities, and invading privacies. You will agree with me that the youth are the future, are the leaders of tomorrow. But then what about if the youth are not cultured in manners, exposure, and rights value? How then will they appear in the future? Cybercrime has been in existence since 1970s. Just like we know that a popular man from Nigeria has named Mr. Ramon Abbas, popularly called Hush Puppy. He's a Nigerian-based internet enthusiast, but then he could not use that intellectual ability very well in the right direction. He was charged on the day of July 2021 to court by the US FBI due to money laundering and other charges. This was based on certain reasons that Nigeria could not prepare its youth or our youth for the future. Why?
Minimum wage in Nigeria now is 30,000 naira, according to statistics. Imagine a single mother with 3 kids to cater for, school fees to pay, 4 mouths to feed. earning that same amount, which is equivalent to a bag of rice now, do you really think she's going to be able to cope? I would say we have a bad governance and misplaced priority, which is aiming towards having a bad future. Do you still really think cybercrime is the death of the future? Good day, my amiable chairman, unbiased panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ogumbo Ali Marvelous from Department of Philosophy 200 level, representing my reputable Faculty of Arts in opposing the motion which says cybercrime, the death of the future. The word future, according to Oxford Dictionary, means the time to come after the present, or an event to happen after them. Therefore, cybercrime is what chemotherapy is to someone suffering from cancer, because without it, there would most likely be no future to look forward to. Speaking of crime, crime means an offense committed. Cybercrime then implies an offense or illegal activity or criminal activity carried out on computer or internet. It is understandable when people say cybercrime is the death of the future, considering the harm, effects, and the dangers it has caused on our people and the world at large. But then we tend to easily forget the good sides of cybercrime. I know you are confused and you are ready to post criticism, but then I'll make myself clear. First, cybercrime has helped to reduce cultism in higher institutions. Take for instance OOU. The cases of cultism has reduced drastically because those that are meant to become cultists to cause chaos in campuses are now busy making money and chasing the big bag like they do say. I stand to be corrected. Secondly, cybercrime has helped those web developers to discover the loopholes in networking, because without them we might think that our safety, the safety of our information are actually secure, but no, they aren't, because if they are, they won't be able to hack into the system, and in the process of trying to solve the problem their loopholes have created, they've been able to come up with new ideas and new methods. A crucial point you cannot forget is that cyber criminals are a major part of the purchasing force in market for high-class products, because without them, those businesses would have closed down. An average Nigerian man cannot actually enter a boutique to buy a shirt for 500,000 naira. It is impossible. Going further, cybercrime has served as an eye-opener to both old and young on the dangers of cybercrime. At the same time, it has given more reasons to secure your personal data and businesses.
Gentlemen, I'd like to remind you the topic we're discussing on this afternoon: cybercrime, the death of the future, of our future. I quite agree with the opposing party that these cyber criminals use the money they get illegally to sponsor themselves in our institution, to do a whole lot of things that afford a luxurious life. But I want us to know that a vice is always a vice, and a vice will always come with its consequences. Let's call a spade. Let's call a vice a vice. A crime will always be a crime, no matter what good intention you make use of it. It's so disheartening that because of cybercrime, the youth are losing the vibe for education. The youth no longer see the need to go to school. The youth no longer see the need to pursue higher learning. You will agree with me that if it continues like this, then what then is really the future? A speaker said, and I quote, that the future of a nation is not in its wealth, but it is in its education. So then, what is the future of our country if the youth doesn't have interest in education? We all know that
Preoccupying or obsessing involvement of the youth in cybercrime follows from the fact that there are partially justifiable reasons to participate in cybercrime, such as unemployment, irrelevance of certificate, insatiability, search for a mentor, easy way to make money, proving oneself to peers, and all sorts. Are we with me? Are you with me? You're not with me. Okay, I stand up. I all protocols duly observed. My name is Sandekele, a 200 level philosophy student representing Faculty of Art, still in opposition to the topic cybercrime, the death of our future. You can agree with me that some criminal activities have subsided since the involvement of youth in cybercrime, such as robbery, thuggery, stealing, burglary, pilfering, etc. Now there are influences that have been derived from the involvement of youth in cybercrime, such as increase in knowledge about ICT, reduction in thuggery, eloquence learning, and many more. Many of these have been achieved by the youth just through their involvement in cybercrime. The non-involvement of youth in cybercrime will put the society in a more cataclysmic or catastrophic situation than it already is. More of the youth are forced by unemployment to groove on crime rates now ravaging Nigeria just because of unemployment, drug trafficking, prostitution, rape, and all sorts. Just further buttresses the fact that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So with all of my renditions, it is easier to compose a phrase which says, idleness is the death of our future. Because the increased idle mind is equivalent to the increased criminal activities. Thank you.
The father of modern policing once said, and I quote, "The police are the public, and the public are the police." The big question, however, is how could the police be public when in fact they don't know the public? Good day, panel of judges. Standing before you today is Ooulit, the representative of the Faculty of Law. I stand to support the motion which says state policing in Nigeria, a solution to insecurity in Nigeria. But before I proceed, I would love to define some key terms in the subject matter. State policing, as defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is seen as the organization and maintenance of a police force by a state. Security can be defined as the mechanisms put in place to enhance national cohesion, peace, and substantial development. Insecurity, as defined by Kumbiat Umana, is seen as a breach to peace and security. Ladies and gentlemen, in Nigeria today, no other problem threatens our national cooperation as insecurity. From the Niger Delta uprisings to the Boko Haram insurgencies, Fulani herdsmen brutal killing, terrorism, banditry, and God knows what next. Nigeria has always suffered under the stiff grip of insecurity, and this can be traced to the fact that we operate a centralized police force in Nigeria, as established in Section 214, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. The Nigerian Police Force is the lead security agency in Nigeria. However, the security they provide is mainly on paper. The citizens of Nigeria are scared of the ones who ought to protect. The Nigerian Police Force is seen as a symbol of unfettered corruption, mismanagement, abuses ranging from arbitrary detention, terrorism, torture, extrajudicial killings, and so many other things. This menace by the police force is simply caused by lack of proper supervision.
Evergreen words of Goodluck Jonathan 2011, he postulated, and I quote, "State police might be theoretically good, judging from the advanced countries. But when we take a look at our political environment, it becomes a necessity to think that it could be abused to the detriment of the country. Plethora of my people and other learned opponents have voiced their clamor for states to have their own political institution and police institution in response to the distressing epidemic of chronic insecurity in Nigeria. They claim this centralized system of government cannot even meet up the security need of the people. This is where the problem lies. Will state police be apolitical? Will state police not be used as a tool by the unscrupulous state governors? Will it not be used as an army of occupation in the event of political tussle between the federal government and the state government? Will it not be used as an instrument of secession? The Nigerian police force being a paradigm of widespread corruption, animalistic behaviors, impurity of all sorts, and all embodiment of all shades of wrong to the discerning public should not be state-controlled, as it will be instrumental in worsening and exacerbating the already worsening security in Nigeria. At this junction, with utmost sense of humility and respect, I set the best vibration of the day by saying, "Good day, Mr. Chairman, able panels of impartial adjudicators, members of the IT coordinators, ladies and gentlemen, standing before you, Solomon Adeyewo, a representative of the Progressive Faculty of Education, standing here vehemently to deprecate the motion which says that state policing is the solution to insecurity in Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, it is my privilege to open my points in objection of the motion that state policing is not the solution to insecurity in Nigeria."
The standard legal maxim that swallows every imaginary obstacle that anybody wants to throw at state policing goes thus, and I quote, "Salus populi est suprema lest," which means the safety of the people is the supreme law of the land, unquote. Good day, highly distinguished panel of judges, standing before you is Okuna Yawurola Tomiwa, a representative of Faculty of Law. I speak with the incontestable conviction that state policing in Nigeria is a solution to Nigerian insecurity. As recorded by Global Rights Report, dated May 16, 2021, a total number of 1,603 Nigerians were killed in the first quarter of the year. Out of the lives lost, 907 lives were lost as a result of banditry, followed by Boko Haram, which took 206 lives, and then kidnapping recorded 1,774 abductees. How sad. It is pertinent to note the death, the gruesome murder of Olufunke Olakunrin, daughter of Afenifere leader, Chief Reuben Fasoranti, who was murdered by some unknown gunmen. And also, the recent kidnap of Senator Nelson Effiong, an ex-senator of the Abia Senatorial District, who was kidnapped on the 5th of September 2021 and was recently released after a huge pay of ransom on his behalf. And also, the kidnap of 2 students of Olabisi Onabanjo University a few months ago on the 16th of March 2021. And what a bitter experience we have here. Now comes the question, do we expect the state governors to fold their arms and watch the citizens of Nigeria, the citizens who voted them into office, to be murdered or to be slaughtered like chickens, or to be tormented by the scourge of insecurities in their jurisdiction? Definitely not, because by virtue of Section 14, subsection 2, paragraph B of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, it says that the security and the welfare of the people of Nigeria shall be the primary purpose of government. And it is pertinent that state policing be established in Nigeria to curb all sort of insurgencies and insecurity that are being faced by Nigerian citizens. As reported by the World Internal Security and Police Index 2016, Botswana's police service is ranked #1 in Africa. Why? This can be traced to the fact that they do not operate a centralized police system. Why then can't Nigeria embrace this decentralized policing system, just like its neighboring African country, Botswana? What we need in Nigeria now, ladies and gentlemen, is an amended constitution providing for state policing system in Nigeria. Finally, and more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, state policing in Nigeria is not designed in such a way as to breach any law, but it is designed in such a way that the state police will work hand in hand with the federal police in such a way as to curb insurgencies in Nigeria. State policing is also designed in such a way as to recruit able-bodied men all over the 36 states of Nigeria. This way, it will reduce unemployment, insecurity, it will reduce unemployment, slavery, poverty, and hunger, which are the root causes of crime, criminalities, and insecurity. I end with this. In essence, with the establishment of state policing in Nigeria, we can be rest assured of a better secured people, a better secured government, and a better secured Nigeria. Thank you.
Is the English for me? Great Ooulit. Great Ooulit. Great Ooulit. Great, and the greater. I want to encourage others that are seated here. You have seen what this society is all about. People say sin is what? Believing. You have seen it for yourself. So, and I think you can make up your mind in a positive way by becoming a member of this society.